Welcome to Morningstar Journal News. I am Matthew Detweiler here with Daniel Emanuel to get you the top news story of the week. What you are about to see is the most disturbing video maybe you will ever see in your life that just happened in Dallas, Texas. Have a look.
What you just saw are parents who took their kids to a bar called Mr. Beaster Bar.
Mr. Mister, huh?
Mr. Beaster, what a surprise.
Interesting.
So,
that doesn't sound gay at all.
and they took their children to this bar to be able to dance with drag queens. For those of you who think that drag is just a race, no, it's not just a race. There's actually drag queens, which is a male actor dressed up like a female and dancing with sexual moves like a female performing on stage. And the kids were able to not just watch them, but actually participate with them and dance with them. And they were actually kids.
How old were these kids?
It's like, you can see in the video that they are like 8 to max 10-year-old kids.
I even saw another video where it was like toddlers in there. Some people had babies in there, basically.
Yep. So that has caused a lot of controversy and outrage. And State Representative Brian Slayton, according to the NBC News, Texas legislature proposes ban on minors watching drag shows.
Thank God.
Yep. So Brian Slayton, somebody with common sense, said, quoting, "The events of this past weekend were horrifying and show a disturbing trend in which perverted adults are obsessed with sexualizing young children. As a father of 2 young children, I could never take my children to a drag show, and I know Speaker Dade Phelan and the rest of my Republican colleagues couldn't either." So they are trying to stop this from happening again, because honestly, these parents should be in prison, bro.
Every one of them. There's absolutely no excuse that you take your kid to a gay bar to put dollar bills into the underwear of a male man dressed in women clothing. This is absolutely, I don't even have to say it. You already know how ridiculous that is.
Yeah, and it was advertised as a family-friendly event. Can you imagine what family-friendly means those days? Wow. These days, it's crazy.
That's insane.
Also, The Blaze reported that after Texas state lawmaker promises a bill to protect kids from being exposed to drag shows, California state lawmaker says he has an idea. So this is what Scott Weiner, a Democrat from California, had to say about it. "This guy just gave me an idea, a bill idea, offering Drag Queen 101 as part of the K-12 curriculum. Attending Drag Queen story time will satisfy the requirement." That was a tweet. So for those of you who don't know, Drag Queen story time is something that it's already happening in
all across America,
in public libraries, right? Mm-hmm. Where a drag queen, one of these male dressed up as a female performers, he reads like a story, basically a gay story or homosexual story to the kids, so they
little kindergarten kids, first grade kids. It's crazy.
So they get familiarized with the sexual perversion they are promoting, basically.
Yep. They get sexualized at a young age. I mean, that's totally un-American. That's immoral. That's unbiblical. Our country was built upon Christian principles, and I mean, we have laws in place that protect our kids. We have certain age limits where you can't do stuff. Mm-hmm. So why is this okay? And how are these parents not in prison? How are these teachers not in prison?
Yeah, and like yesterday, I just finished watching What Is a Woman?
Oh, by Matt Walsh on Daily Wire?
Yep, a documentary.
Absolutely amazing documentary. I highly, highly recommend it. You have to get a subscription to Daily Wire, but it's worth every penny.
Yep.
Watch it.
Well, in that documentary, they show how they are literally castrating a generation with all this transgenderism stuff. And don't don't be deceived. This drag queen show and giving the kids exposure to this cultural, artistic kind of thing, this is just a bridge to show the kids and to push them more into transgenderism, homosexuality, and all these kinds of things. That the end goal of this is to destroy families.
And that comes straight from a Marxist playbook, right?
Yep.
Like if you read, Rick Joyner wrote a book called Marxist Strategy to Destroy America. Any communism book you read about what their plans are, what Karl Marx's plans were, is to destroy family. He hated the nuclear family. Guess who else has that in their mission statement? BLM, Black Lives Matter. They literally have there on the website, or they did at one time. They might have took it down. But it was to literally destroy the nuclear family, which a nuclear family is man as the head, and then woman as the parents, and then the children.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you who else has it on their mission statement. Hell has it on its mission statement. Satan has it on his forefront of his head.
That's right.
He wants to destroy the nuclear family. And this is what this is doing, because a lot of these kids who don't know what they're doing, because they are being exposed to this stuff at such a young age, they really think they can become, like, let's say a boy, he really thinks he can become a woman. And that is a total blatant lie.
And that is child abuse by the parent, letting them actually believe that.
It is.
What is, if you're letting your kids decide what they want to be growing up, then why are you a parent? Like if a kid can decide for himself, then he doesn't need parents. He should be able to go out there and get a job at 5 years old. He should be able to have his own house at 5 years old. He should be able to drive a car at 5 years old. Why can't he drive a car at 5 years old if he can decide what gender he wants to be for the rest of his life?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me right now?
Exactly. And if your kid tells you that he's Superman and that he's going to jump out of the window of a building.
Oh, yeah, please do. Yes. He's dead.
Exactly. You don't encourage him to jump to his death. But parents are right now encouraging their kids to jump out of this transgender window, and then they crash with reality that when they are like 20 or 25 years old, and it's too late. And they are already, their life is gone.
Yep. And now colleges are funding for transgender surgeries and stuff in the tuition of a lot of these people. So a lot of these people, when they grow up, if they don't already have a surgery, by the time they get to college, they're like, oh, well, my surgery would get paid for my tuition, so I better get it now and not wait. Well, then like afterwards, they're like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that. Now I ruined my life. And in the What is a Woman documentary, this one man said that for every child that these people convince are in the wrong, are the transgender, Big Pharma makes $1.3 million off of every child. You don't think this is driven by money? Dude, it is big time. And the root of all evil is the love of money. And a lot of these people might not know this is Satan's agenda necessarily, might not know this is Marxism agenda, but they're just being used by them because they don't know God. It boils down to they do not know God at all. So they're just being used by the devil. But we need to stand up against it and say no, just like this Slater guy in Texas is.
Exactly.
So stand up against evil, speak the truth, and know God. We'll see you next time. This is Matthew Detweiler from Morning Journal News with Daniel Emanuel. God bless you.